Hey, good morning to you. It's Daybreak at iFiber. One time for the sheriff sit down. Morning, Vicki.
Good
Brought to you
morning.
by our Community Credit Union and Mason County Sheriff Casey Salisbury and Jail Chief Kevin Hanson are on the air with us. Morning, guys.
Morning, guys.
It is the 9th of July, so it's time now to kind of take a look back at the week that was a busy weekend and a busy week for calls, I am assuming, the 4th of July holiday. And how did Mason County fare this last week with the 4th of July and all that?
Well, I'd like to think you helped us out, Jeff. We were on here the week, that days before, talking about the calls for service. And I had brought up that we get a lot of calls for service that oftentimes aren't maybe as a priority as some people think,
Sure.
Right.
that really clog us up. And we talked about that. And I will tell you that this year we had the least number of calls that we've ever had in that strange category, like somebody's chicken was suspiciously washing down the street. We need a deputy there for it. We did not see those calls, and the fireworks calls went way down for the just, guess what, there's fireworks out here tonight on the 4th. However, I've given you my numbers for that week.
Yeah.
We had absolute record numbers of 911 calls, which in turn end up in the jail that Kevin manages, and that's why we keep talking about jail. But you can look at those numbers and read those off. It was this is only the Mason County Sheriff's Office. This is not Washington State Patrol, and I am sure that Chief Moody probably has numbers like this coming out of the city of Shelton, are probably extraordinary. This is only the Mason County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, so the week before here, this would have been Friday into the weekend before the 4th of July, 96 calls on that Friday previous, 83 Saturday, 78 on Sunday, then 103 on Monday, 102 on Tuesday, July 3rd, and then down to 89 on the 4th of July.
Nice.
So do you think that people were here celebrating the weekend before, or was it the weekend after that more
I
folks
think
were
we got
down?
hit with a 4th of July in the middle of the week, and we had 3 4th of Julys. We had
Right,
each weekend and the 4th of
weekends.
July. But, I was listening to you on the way in this morning about the trucks needing 44,000 trucks.
Sure.
The economy apparently everywhere but Shelton and Mason County is getting better. But the economy's blasting, and people are out. They're back out using their boats again. They're coming down, and they're getting out on the weekends and they on their toys, and we're just busy. We get a lot of people from outside the county that own summer homes is mainly what it
Right.
is, that just load our county during the vacation holidays. And so that goes from a circumstance like that transfers those people that we're dealing with, many of them, to the jail where Kevin's at. So you can tell us about our jail numbers.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Kevin.
Well, you got the cap on the jail still, and every day we're above the cap. We're running about 102 people in the jail, about 83 to 85 in general population. Our cap's at 80. When the jail gets overcrowded, it lends itself to the inmates not being happy when there's too many people in the cell.
Sure.
And we had a situation happen last week when one of our staff went to serve a inmate his lunch, and the inmate was housed by himself. He had some issues, and the correction deputy opened the door, and the inmate, without any indication or inclination, punched the deputy in the face and knocked him on the ground.
Wow.
And fortunately, the inmate just closed his door behind him while the officer was laying on the ground. But he ended up having to go to the hospital and get some medical treatment for some minor injuries. But that's just lends itself to trying to let people know that what happens behind those walls there sometimes is not is pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that guy could have done or our staff could have done to prevent that. I
Right.
think that's frustrating sometimes when things happen so quickly. We're trained to see that, and in this situation, we
He
just didn't see
blindsided,
it.
it
Pretty
sounds
much
like,
sucker punched him.
Sucker punched him,
wow.
yeah.
So, that's just
guy.
unfortunate, but our staff did a great job, and inmate didn't end up getting injured or anything out of it.
Does the temperature outside increase the temperature of the jail? If you kind of get what I'm saying here, when it gets hot outside,
More aggro, or
people get more
when
aggravated. Do you
More
get a
beer.
sense for that?
More beer.
more beer drinking.
Well, that too.
yeah.
I mean, people come
Sure.
from the outside.
I mean,
going
it does.
inside.
It does. I mean, look at
and then they're invincible.
Look at our seasons. I tell you about the 70-degree rule for lakes. Once
Yeah.
we go over 70 degrees, and the brain cells dry up, and people do crazy stuff with their boats and things like that. More beer drinking, more things like that. It's hot. Another rough weekend now with the 4th is over. The next one, I always say that on the road working, when I was doing that, was really tough, was that last weekend on Labor Day weekend.
Sure.
And that one's a tough one because many of the schools you're coming back. That's the first week of school for some. Some have had maybe 2 days. They're gone for that big long week. It's the last big family weekend away.
Oh, yeah.
People have been over on the east side. They're baking hot. They're trying to get home with their RVs and put them away at night. And the tension just builds. And then you've got school starting that Tuesday morning after that long weekend. And that tends to be a very issue on the weekends with that kind of stuff too.
Looks like as the weekend, it was this past weekend, and a lot of events out there in the community. You guys were up in Tahuya at the parade, huh?
Oh my! I go to the Tahuya parade each year, and I will tell you, it's a parade that anybody can kind of enter the parade and walk through.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
so many people, Chief Sperling and I walked the whole thing and talking to people, and it's interesting because everybody says, I'm from Tahuya. There are not that many people in Tahuya.
Sure.
What they are is there's a lot of people that come down to their summer homes and things. I have never seen so many people in Tahuya as this year at the parade. I mean, you used to park way down by the bridge where we did, and it starts way down there, and that thing went on forever.
Wow.
It was just packed up there. A really nice group of people, and people
Very
from
cool. Good for the economy,
Oh,
too.
my goodness.
Into the Tahuya
people
area.
that were
Nice.
there that aren't even from Tahuya or have a cabin there. They heard about the parade or they'd been there years ago, and they come back every year. It was really neat. But Tahuya is kind of almost a one way in, no turnaround, one way out, and it gets a little packed up there. But it was really something. There was a lot of people and a real nice group.
Talk to me a
That's
little
very cool.
bit about the Undersheriff Adams. He's at the academy now.
Yes, I'm so proud of him. I mean, it was probably one of the neatest things that I got to set up. I had the great opportunity to attend the FBI Academy 2012, and the only way you get there is to have somebody basically sponsor you that's an FBI Academy graduate to put you through. And I had the great honor to do that for Travis Adams. I can't think of a finer person to attend the Academy. And Travis just got back there, sent me a message this morning that he's back at the Academy. He's checked in his room for the start of his 3 months. We'll start today. And he has a great opportunity, I think, to have a student, an international student, as a roommate. And he told me his roommate is from Morocco.
Huh.
So
Oh,
he'll
very
probably be
cool.
one of the top law enforcement officials in Morocco, and Travis will be rooming with that individual. But it's so neat to get back there. There's so few people in the world that get to attend that.
Sure.
And then you get to meet the top law enforcement leaders from other countries. And so Travis is perfect for that.
Is this like, talk to me a little bit about the conditions he's going into. I would assume that if you're going to be at the FBI Academy, you're a little more seasoned,
Well,
perhaps
yes.
out of the collegiate lifestyle.
Right.
But are they in like dorms?
Yes.
Is it like
Yes,
college dorms?
you're in a dorm room. It was more sparse than the one I lived in college. You're in a dorm room with a roommate that's 3-4 feet away from you, and whatever you want to call it, just like a tiny college dorm room. And you have a uniform that you wear every day. You're up in the morning depending on what time they start, but generally you're up at 5, and you do your physical training in the morning, well before you go to breakfast. You come back in. You have a very limited amount of time to eat. You clear that, or actually come back, you shower, you eat, and you move right into classroom. And each one of your classes are 2 hours per section that you go to all day long. And then when you break at the end of the day, there's more physical training at the end of the day. And then in the evenings, there's what they call enrichment classes, and in which I met one of our instructors back there was General Hugh Shelton, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, was one of our evening instructors. So you have evening classes in there. Chief Warrant Officer Mike Durant from Black Hawk Down, the actual pilot, was in that.
Yeah.
He was one of our evening instructors, so we had Mike Durant for an instructor in the
Wow.
evening. And you get some of the best instructors in the world, but so you've got now evening class. So you break from that. Usually those get out they run from usually 6 to 8 or 9. You get out from those, and your classes are through the University of Virginia. So you're writing term papers and things. So you're from 8 at night till whenever you get done. You've taken instruction all day, and you've got to study for your classes the next morning.
Just let him have some fun over there.
Right?
Well-
When do they
Enjoy
eat
it.
supper? I mean,
You get a break.
Lord.
Well, when you get all your term papers done, because they're all graded by their college, it's
and
graduate
this
classes.
is to become an FBI agent?
No, this is to graduate from the FBI National Academy. We're not going
Okay.
through as an agent. We're going through
Okay.
the National Academy
Okay.
of the FBI back there with agents and things there.
Oh, okay.
Of course, they're there. The whole academy's full of FBI agents, and DEA is right next door to you. And you want to talk about hot. They get back there and they have Black Flag days on the East Coast where the humidity is nearly as high as the temperature.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you're out there at 102 degrees and you're running. Then they put up the Black Flag after you've left on your run to tell you shouldn't be out running. So it is really hot. It's tough. But I'll tell you, it's to complete that and walk away from there at the end of that 3 months, a little over 3 months, just like going to a military type academy. It's really something, and to be able to say that you completed that. So Travis will do a
yeah.
great job for us back
Is
there.
there an acting
for him.
undersheriff now that he's kind of gone for a couple?
Well, no, we have the staff that we have. We don't get more, so we all just fill in, and that's what we fill in to make it happen.
All right.
Well, cool.
Sheriff Salisbury, Jail Chief Kevin Hanson, good to see you guys.